Hi and welcome to part 2 of my walk along the Whitby to Scarborough line. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, here's the link to that so you can catch up. If you do enjoy this video, as always, hit the like button, and to see more of my videos around the North York Moors and the Yorkshire coast, hit that subscribe button. I'm packed up again, and today I'm going to attempt to do the about 8 miles from here in Robin Hood's Bay all the way down to Hayburn Wyke. I have no time to waste, so let's get started. This is my favourite place on the Yorkshire coast, so let's begin with a few nice shots of it. I've picked up the line there just as it sweeps around, not far from the cliff edge and down into the village where the station was. As with the previous 3 stops I've made on the route, the station building is still intact and is still in use, so we'll have a look at that shortly. Here's where I need to deviate from where the track ran. If we were on the line in its final few years, so not going all the way up to Whitby Westcliff station, but turning around at Prospect Hill, this is actually the first part where the line is no longer accessible. It's now a private footpath, so I'll make a quick detour just along the street that runs parallel to this and comes out at the other end of this row of houses. The whole approach to the station is now a car park. If I stop here and take a look to my left, beyond the bowling green and tennis courts you can see the bay, and beyond that at the top of the hill in the far distance is Ravenscar. And that's pretty much the halfway point of my journey today, just over 4 miles away. The building you can see that I'm walking towards isn't actually the old station house, as you'll be able to see from the sign. It's the Fyling Village Hall. And I guess this kind of sums up the fate of the line in one short clip. The station now a car park and an overflow car park. And here is the old station building, and it's now holiday lets. The entire line was single track with passing loops at 4 of the stations, and this was the first after leaving Whitby. I'm now beginning my walk towards what was the next stop on the line, Fyling Hall. This is where I'll leave this road and Robin Hood's Bay and rejoin the exact route. I've never been down this stretch before, so I'm not really sure what to expect. I am hoping for some amazing views of the bay as I move through the valley of Fyling Dales. Here is Fyling Hall station. The station house has survived and is now a private residence. I'm not sure why they built a station here, as there's very little around, and I can't see the big advantage of having this over just using the station at Robin Hood's Bay. The station platform is a lot less obvious here. You've got to come off the Cinder Track to be able to see it. The line ran through here and there was a service track, or a dead-end line, that ran behind the station to a storage shed. This is where the platform started, and as you can see here particularly, nature has really taken over. And this is what's left of the platform, with these trees now standing where the tracks once were. Now for the big walk up Ravenscar bank. The sun's getting higher, along with the temperature, so it'll be a good workout for me, if nothing else. It's about 3 miles, and this is one of the steepest sections of the entire line, with a climb of 1 in 39. The line has a long sweeping bend shortly up here that will take me out very close to the coastline round Stoop Brow and then up Ravenscar bank. This was a notorious section of the route with its steep incline, tight curves and being completely exposed to the elements coming in off the North Sea. And wet slippery tracks were a constant problem. Trains really had to graft to get up here and were often piloted up to Ravenscar by a second loco. Anyone who lives on this coast will know how brutal the weather can be out here during the winter months, and I don't envy those drivers and firemen who had to get the trains along this section on the open footplates. On days like this though, not so much of a problem. Robin Hood's Bay in the distance now. I'm getting there. I'm now about to pass between two big pieces of local history. Down to my left is the old alum works. And here on my right is the site of the old Whitaker's Brickworks, which was created to help supply the bricks for the town that never was. A bit more on that shortly, but I will be doing a video on Ravenscar at some point, so I'll be covering these two areas in a lot more detail then. There's also Raven Hall at the top of the hill with its own illustrious past, and reportedly this is where all of the planning and key meetings took place to build the Scarborough and Whitby Railway. I've walked this section so many times, often with the kids on my shoulders, so with just a backpack and talking to you, it's a much easier climb today. And just look at this view. There's Robin Hood's Bay at the far side, so I'm about halfway through my journey today. So I've deviated away here slightly from where the track ran. That's just down here and is where it entered the first of 2 tunnels on the line. The story here goes that the line was initially meant to travel overland. However, the guy who owned Ravenscar Hall at the time insisted he didn't want to see the train passing close to his house every day, so this tunnel was built. I won't be going through it today, but I wanted to show you it as it is part of the story of this line. When I come back to do my video on Ravenscar itself, I may revisit it. I'll go into much more detail on this when I do the Ravenscar video, but a quick mention of the town that never was. In the early 1900s, a group of businessmen bought all this land and planned a new holiday resort. Long story short, their company folded a few years later, but not before roads and other infrastructure was installed, as well as the building of around a dozen houses. Hence, the town that never was. Here's the station and Station Square. Like Robin Hood's Bay, there were 2 platforms so that trains could pass on the line. An interesting fact, this place was originally called Peak, but had its name changed around the time of the failed development. You'll notice it's the first station without any remaining buildings, although it does have a square, or a half-built square. I'm now heading towards the next stop on the line, Staintondale. It's about another 3 miles, but after a short climb out of here to the highest point of the entire route, it's all downhill. As I'm just walking away from Ravenscar, just coming around the highest point of the line now. And if you can see in the distance, the cliffs of the Yorkshire coast. First one being the headland with Scarborough Castle. And again, stunning views. I'm just a bit further along the line now. Those buildings in the centre of the screen, that was the site of the World War II radar station, which was part of the coastal defence system established during the war in 1941. When I do the video on Ravenscar, I will include those in that. This is hard work. Whoever you are, JB, thank you. It's the first thing I've eaten since leaving Robin Hood's Bay. I was in a bit of a rush when I left this morning, so I didn't pack any food, just water. Saved the day. Well, saved me anyway. I'm now approaching the entrance into Staintondale station. Platform's still there, both sides of the track. I feel like I'm walking into Spectre on Big Fish. This was the third station with a passing loop. An interesting fact about this station, and an indication into why this line was closed, is that in the line's final year of use in 1965, its average weekly take-in was £15. The wages for this station came to £180. And just through the trees, you can see the old station house building. Well done to whoever looks after this place. It's in fantastic condition. Now the final mile of today's walk, down to Hayburn Wyke. I'm now on the final approach to Hayburn Wyke station. This is 7 miles from Scarborough. Another remote station that was actually an unstaffed halt for the final 10 years that the line was in use. And this was the station master's house, which is now a private residence. That's today's walk along the line complete, but there are two things you can't leave Hayburn Wyke without doing. The first is heading down to the beach, followed by a pint at the Hayburn Wyke Inn. I hope you've enjoyed part 2 of my walk along this route. I'll add links below to a few videos of things I've mentioned today, including more archive footage of the line and more on the town that never was. My next video will be the final part of my journey along the line into Scarborough, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification to see that one and any future videos around the North York Moors and along the Yorkshire coast. Today's been harder than I expected, but it has been a stunning walk. It's also got me thinking as to whether the line is better how it is now than it would be being brought back as a working line. Something for me to think about, and I'll give you my full thoughts in the next video when I've completed the route. I'm now off to enjoy my pint at the top of the hill and call my lift. A massive thank you for watching, and hopefully see you again soon for the next one.